All right. So, again, good morning, everyone. Um, we're going to play a bit with the back body today. And I just want you to be mindful as we play with both the upper back, right? Upper back, upper shoulders, but also the lower back. Just be really mindful about how your body's feeling and take time to um, come out of pose or rest if you need to at all. But let's start by sitting well. Maybe you're sitting up on a blank, maybe you're sitting a block, maybe you're sitting up on your blanket. Um, and then move the flesh out from the sit bones and feel your whole torso just kind of wiggling around a little bit. I often we start so still, but I really want you to find a spot that feels good. So maybe move your torso around, move your ribs around, maybe do some curls with your lower back. And then imagine that your whole spine is growing out of that place. So the tailbone descends down. And then it for me, it almost feels like a snake. In Kundalini yoga, they talk about, Kundalini rising, awakening the snake. So it's that same thing with the spine for me of going, okay, let's wake that baby up. Let's get it nice and long. Maybe take the shoulders up to the ears for a moment to lengthen the side body, and then let the shoulders just rest down where they belong. Your elbows are at your side body, your hands resting anywhere on your body that makes sense. And then maybe close the eyes here for a moment. Feel yourself starting to settle into your mat, into your yoga practice. I remember once during one of the teacher trainings that I took, and they said that your yoga class starts before you arrive. Your yoga class starts on your way to your yoga mat. And I found that really interesting. When I would drive to classes, I would think, okay, my class starts now. And so allow your yoga class, your yoga practice to start now, just simply sitting on your mat in any way that is beneficial for your body. Feeling the tailbone lengthen down, feeling the space in the lower back when we draw that tailbone down as if we were pulling a little fishing weight at the bottom of that tailbone and just letting it hang in the water. This beautiful image of freedom, of space. And then the natural curves of the spine all the way up to the base of your skull, the chin neither tucked nor raised up, but level, the crown of the head reaching up as if we could make our necks a little bit longer. I was reading an article today about the spine, this morning about the spine, and they talked about how astronauts, when they go in space, they get taller, sometimes by 2 centimeters taller, as gravity no longer pushes down on the spine. And that we gain height every time we go to bed at night and allow that stretching and rehydrating of the spine, of the vertebra. And that if you measured yourself before you went to bed and upon first waking up, you would notice that you had gained height. So, yoga is beautiful in that it moves and hydrates the spine in all directions. And we feel that as we breathe, we feel that as we mindfully lengthen the spine without strain. Good. And then open the eyes. Inhale, reach the arms up all the way up. Grab your left wrist and take it over to the right. Don't go super far yet this morning. Let's just check outside body. Grab your right wrist, take it over to the left. And up again, grab your left wrist, go to the right and reverse. Good. One more, both sides. And breathe. Good. Last one. And take it up to center. Bend both elbows and squeeze the elbows to your side body, like purposefully squeeze. And go slow and then take them up. And exhale, squeeze them down nice and slow. Good. And inhale up. One more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And bring them up. And then grab your left wrist and take it over. Inhale, center, grab your right, take it over. Inhale, center, squeeze the elbows down. Notice if you tend to drop that chin. Good. Last set here. Grab your left, reach over, grab your right, reach over to the left. Bring it center, squeeze the elbows down, but keep them down this time. And lengthen through your chest, lengthen through the collarbones. Keep drawing the elbows down, 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 down. Feel that big old stretch in the shoulders. And then take your ear to your right shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Whoo! Now I feel this way down into the left arm, almost to the elbow. So big old stretch. I know I'm tight there. And just take the head to center, go to the other side. Don't overdo, but keep those elbows training down toward your waist. There you go. One more, both sides. Take it to the right. And center, take it to the left. And center, inhale, reach both arms up. Press those hands right to your heart, interlace and press up. Open up your spine. So the arms will reach back as far as they will for you. Watch your shoulders, but allow the chest to move forward as if we were doing a nice little back bend or a nice cow pose. And then exhale, squeeze it in. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze it in. Two more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze in. And last one, take it up. And exhale, squeeze, 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 and let it go. Nice job, everybody. Go ahead and straighten your legs. And already I have a window open in here, and it's already feeling a little bit toasty. Good. So nice Dandasana pose. Move the flesh out from the sit bones. Engage the legs. Lift up through your torso. Hands press into the floor or fingertips. Breathe. And again, notice, right? So this one is more obvious with the tailbone lengthening. And some of us might even be rounding here a little bit. If you are, let the fingertips and the hands come behind you back so that you can support your back. But then feel the lengthening up. Tailbone's heading down, crown of the head is lifting up. The hands are at your sides. The legs are very active. One, you're here. Two, the arms come up. And notice any strain or challenge in the shoulders as you do this. Good. Keep squeezing in through the belly, but lengthening up through the chest. Turn your palms forward. Squeeze the elbows down to your waist. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. This is slow. Inhale, reach up. Don't forget about your legs. Squeeze it down, everybody. And inhale up. Good. Squeeze down. And up. Two more right here. Squeeze it down, squeeze it down, squeeze. And last one. Squeeze it down. Feel that back body working. And raise the arms up. The palms face each other. Let those hands come down. Lift your left leg. You know we got to do this, right? Working these quads. Breathe and just kind of notice, where does your leg go? Where does your foot go? I have the advantage of seeing myself in the computer, and so I can see when my toes are turned out to the side. See if you can keep that leg lifted up, straight up and down, straight up and down. Lift your chest, everybody. Fingertips touch and lower down. Whoo, yeah. And go to the other side. Lift your right leg, lift your chest, hands to the floor. Breathe, maybe press down through the left leg, right? Feel how that helps you ground, how that helps you lift up and lower down. Lift up, everybody. Lift that left leg this time. Maybe take the arms up. Good. Try to keep those toes relatively pointing up toward the ceiling. Bend your knee to your chest and push it out. Good. Bend it into chest and up. Remember, the hands can be down. Bend it in. Whoo, and out. Yep, working that quad. Bring it in. Last one. And push it out. Step it over. Bend that knee. Wrap your right arm around and twist to the left. And think with each twist, right? Really, with each movement of the spine, we are hydrating the vertebra, we're hydrating the discs, right? We're giving a lot of stimulation to the nerve endings, to the whole structure. So take a deep breath here. Slowly release your twist. Take the arms back up. Lift your foot off the floor. Take it away. Stretch it out and let it go. Let those arms release. Roll your shoulders. Remember, you can always keep the hands down. Keep that spine nice and strong. When you're ready, lift your right leg. Take the hands up. Whew, lift your chest, lengthen your tailbone, squeeze your belly. Good. And then knee to chest, squeeze it in, push it out. Good. And squeeze it in and push out. Nice. Good. 3 more. Push in, press it out. 2 more. Reach it in and out, however far that knee will go. Push it in. Whoo, and release it. Lift up your spine. Step over your left leg. Lift your chest. Wrap your left arm around. Right hand to the floor, coming into a twist on this side. And even in the twist, so we're twisted to the right, draw your left shoulder back to the left. I didn't say that on the other side, but just notice that, right? As we resist the rounding of the left shoulder. Good. Release your twist. Arms reach up. Lift your leg. Press it out. Lift up, lift up, lift up, and lower down. Ooh, good. Just circle out those ankles one direction and the other direction. And then little gas pedals here, alternating gas pedals, flex and point. And breathe. Good. So release that fully. I want you to come to table pose. Feel free to put a blanket underneath your knees. If you have some wrist issues or hand issues and you would rather be on elbows, go ahead and do that. And then tone in through your belly, right? We do this pretty much every class. Tone in through the belly. Imagine a little bit of Uddiyana Bandha, a little bit of an abdominal lock, but then lengthen through the whole chest bone so that you don't just you just don't move into a cat pose, right? It's a neutral spine. Press your right leg back. Feel the lengthening of your chest. Re-engage your belly. Lift your right leg off the floor. We played with this last class. If you happen to be here, your left arm reaches out. Now, 1, you're going to hang out right here. 2, your hands back to the floor, a little more balance. 3, your left elbow comes to your left hip as your right elbow comes to your right, or your right knee comes to your right elbow. So you're staying on the same side. Squeeze it in, press it out. Good. Squeeze it in and press out. 2 more. Squeeze in and out. Last one. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And out. Good. Hang out, hang out, hang out. Bend your right knee. Woo. Reach back with your left hand. Maybe you find your foot. Maybe not. Don't worry about it if you don't. Breathe. Good. Release and let go. Oh. Shake out those hips. Shake out the wrist if it's chatty. Move through your waist. Good. And come on back. Second side. Press through your left leg. Tone that belly in. You know what to do by now, right? Press out of those hands, out of those shoulders. Lift your left leg. Keep toning that belly in. Reach the right arm when you're ready. This is one of the best back body exercises, by the way, right here. So when you're ready, your right elbow goes to your right knee, your left knee goes to your left elbow. Squeeze it in. Press it out for 5. Squeeze and out and squeeze. 3 and 4. You got it. And 5. Hold right here. Tone that belly in. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand and see if you can find your foot. If you cannot, just reach back. Just open up that back body. And breathe, everybody. And release it. Press out. Lower the hand. Lower the knee. Widen your knees. And sit back in child's pose. But do me a favor, if your feet allow, keep your toes tucked. Just sit back on those heels and find your breath. And then with your hands planted in front of you, all I want you to do is isometrically drag your hands back and then push them away. So it's really subtle, but you're pulling back and engaging your back body. And then you're pushing your hands away to stretch it. Good. A couple more right here. Just engage and pull back. Good. 2 more. Pull those hands toward you as if you could drag them on your mat and push them away. 1 more right here. Pull, pull, pull. And press. And then come right back to table pose. Plant your hands, tone your belly. Your toes are flipped under. Come to downward facing dog. And immediately check out your hands, check out your arms. How's everything feeling? Pedal out your feet, just stretch it all out. Take your feet wide on your mat. Tone the belly in, bend your knees. Maybe you tap and then press back out. And tap. Press out. Good. You don't have to go that low. If you do, control it. That's it. Keep it going. And 1 more right here. Tap those knees down. Hover a couple inches off. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze the imaginary beach ball. Walk your feet back in. Feel those legs bent. The knees are bent. Working with the quadriceps, working with the leg strength. Tone your belly in. Straighten your legs. And then lower both knees to the floor. Step forward with your right foot. Grab your blocks if you have them. If you don't worry about it. Your hands just go to the floor. And your blocks can be on 2nd level. They can be all the way up at 3rd level. Just whatever feels good. Always like to have a good solid warm up. So open up your shoulders. Leave your left hand on your block or on the floor, wherever it is for you. And just take the right arm up and bring it back down. Good. Take it up and down. Good. 1 more. Range of motion. Reach it up and down. Good. Leave your right hand on the block. Take your left arm up and down. Good. Reach up and down. 2 more. Reach it up. Stretch out through the muscles of the ribs, all those wonderful breathing muscles, and down. Reach back, step your right foot back, reach your left foot forward, and find that side. And notice how this side feels, right? I've really been thinking a lot about habit patterns in the body and where we are short, where we are tight versus where we're not, and how we carry ourselves all through our day, right? So it's something we want to play with, something we want to think about. All right, right hand stays on your block. You can even be to fingertips. You reach the left arm up and bring it down. And reach it up and down. Good range of motion, everybody. Reach up and down. Let your left hand come to the block. Reach your right arm up and down. Reach it up and down. Good. One more right here. Reach up and down. Set your blocks aside. Lift your right knee off the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Widen your legs. When you're ready, tap down for 5. Reach up. And 4. And up. Good. Let's do 3. And up. And 2. Good. Last one. Tap down. Lift a little bit. Reach the knees out toward the sides or really just parallel with your feet. Squeeze your belly but lengthen your chest. Find your breath here. Walk the feet back to hips width. Bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Good. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Widen your shoulders. Bend your knees, everybody. Hands to knees and come on up. Yeehaw. Grab your blocks. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. It's not critical, but I find it interesting. I mean, what do these weigh? You know, maybe a half a pound, maybe. And yet they make a difference. It's really bizarre. So take your feet wide, be comfortable. Don't go too wide. Bend your knees. Don't overbend your knees. You get the picture. Find your middle way here. And then just draw into your squat. Now, you should be toned in here. You should be back at the heels so that your knees are lined up as much with your ankles as they can be. They should not be shooting past your toes. Okay, that's the big thing. And then really plant those feet. Feel your hips start to engage. Feel the glutes start to engage. Grab your blocks and put them right in front of you. Okay, and bring them outside. And bring them back. Yeah, bring them back. Squeeze and forward. Bring them out. Squeeze. If you get tired, just take a break. Out and in. Good. One more here. Bring them out and in. Good. Take them out. Take them right out from your shoulders. Turn your palms down and pulse. And breathe. They're going to start to get tired. Trust me. That's it. Just hang on to that block. So what happens when we hang on to the blocks? We're engaging all the forearm muscles so that we don't drop the block. Good. Turn palms up. How's your squat? Did you forget about that? Squeeze the butt. Breathe. Press forward. You got it. Good. Press back. Press or hold the palms forward and just hold. Take the one arm up. Take left arm up. Breathe. We're traffic controllers now. Take the right arm up. Let the left arm come down to shoulder level. Breathe. Left arm up. Right arm out. Woo, if your legs need a break, just come on out. Straight legs. You can still do the arms. Arm up. Left arm out. And up. Believe it or not, I woke up somewhere in the middle of the night and I was doing, you know, the YMCA song. I was doing the yoga song. I was like, Y, give me a Y, give me an O, give me a G, give me an A. Lord help me. Go ahead and stand up. Roll your shoulders. Right? It's just like, where did your brain go? It's so funny. Good. Bend those knees, everybody. Take the blocks together. Hold the outsides of your blocks only. Take your elbows out to the sides and squeeze into your blocks. Now, keep the shoulders wide, right? Keep the collarbones wide. Squeeze in. Oh, breathe. I'm pushing in at a fairly decent amount of pressure. So, find your spot and then squat deeper and stand up. Keep the pressure on your blocks. Down, squeeze up, down, squeeze up. You got it. Take it down and up. Good. Last one here. Squat down, squeeze up, release your squeeze. Good. Set one block down. Take one block in your right hand. Actually, we can walk the feet in a little bit closer and take it up to the ceiling and just pat yourself on the back with it. Okay. Take your left arm out, internal rotation. Just bring your hand to some other part of that block. Doesn't have to touch it, doesn't have to hold, just has to touch it. If your shoulders allow. And breathe. Right, so we're just checking out this range, the shoulder range of motion. And then release it, take both arms up, switch the block into the other hand, pat yourself on the back, take the right arm out, and just see if you can find the block anywhere. Just let fingers touch it. And breathe. Keep drawing the front ribs in a little bit. Don't let them overly poke out. Don't go into a back bend here. And release. And shake it out. Take the legs wide again. Both blocks are in front of you. Good. And you're just going to come into a nice, easy forward fold to start. Just easy. Notice. Right? What happens when you round the shoulders? What happens when you draw them wide? Breathe. Bend your knees here. Don't overly bend. Take one hand to your block. And you should be, I'm going to turn sideways here. You should be like halfway up. So if you're not, maybe you take the block a little bit higher. Tone in the belly, lengthen your tailbone. And with the other hand, take the block out to the side and just hold and breathe. And when you look to that side, it should be right out from your shoulder. Squeeze the legs together isometrically. Keep the legs active. Tone the belly. Fill in the back body a little bit. Just hold. We're working with the strength of our shoulders, right? And lower down. Good. Go to the other side. I'm going to run into wall here. So let me scoot. Take the arm out to the side and just hold. And notice how it feels to you. Does it feel good? Is your tendency going to be to go back, bring the arm back? Can you keep it right out from the shoulders, but keep the shoulders level? Yep. Breathe. Right? A little half-pound little block here, really working those muscles. And down. Go one more, other side. Reach out. Now, some of you are going to be able to take your hand off the other block and take both arms out, one with a block, one without. This takes a ton of core work. Keep the knees soft. I just realized I locked mine out. Breathe. And lower. Other side, take the right arm or whichever other arm out to the side. Pause, squeeze your belly, bend the knees some. And only if you want, take the other arm out. Whew. Watch that head, watch that neck. And release. Holy moly, bring the legs together. Just come into a little bit of a forward bend here. And breathe. Bend your knees, everybody. Hands to knees. Come on up. Oh, right? Feel that already. Feeling that stuff happening. All right. So to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Soften the knees. Step back, right leg. Lower your left or your right knee to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time, pull the imaginary rope down, elbows to your side body. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. Good. One more here. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Hands come to the floor. Lift your knee. Listen up. Your block can go under your right hand if you would like. It's kind of nice. It brings you up a little bit more. Take the left arm out from your shoulder and follow it with your gaze. Yep. And take it down. Same arm, lift up slow. Follow it with your gaze. And down. One more. Lift up. Woo. And down. Nice job. Here we are. Step back, downward facing dog. Easiest way to transition, lower your knees. Step forward with your right leg. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the elbows to your side body. Inhale it up. Exhale, pull that rope down, everybody. And up. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. And up. Good job. Hands come to the floor, or your left hand maybe comes to your block. Lift your right or your left knee off the floor and take the right arm up. Nice, easy twist. Tone your belly. Your knee can be down, by the way. And lower the arm and slowly raise it back up. Follow it with your gaze and down. Reach up, reach up, reach up. And down. Move your block out of the way. Plant your hands. Step back, down dog. Lower your knees to the floor. And either child's pose or sit back on your heels. And just get your breath. Just breathe. So when we talk about the back body, we cannot not talk about the shoulder girdle and the rotator cuff muscles, right? There's 4 of them. They support the shoulder complex, the shoulder joint, right? And as we move through our bodies, we work all of these muscles, right? All the way from the supraspinatus up here and 3 more toward the back. So just notice, and sometimes we'll overwork this baby, right? We'll overwork the top one, that supraspinatus. All right, so speaking of work, back to work. Here we go. You're gonna grab one of your blocks and put it to the center of your mat. Well, center, really not center. It's gonna be almost toward the top of your mat. So where we're going here, and I do want you to be mindful, what else is new? Plant your hands so that your hands are a little bit in front of your block. We're gonna combine down dog with plank on knees with a little half chaturanga here. So belly tones in, watch your bodies, come to downward facing dog. Find that first pose. Engage those arms. I cannot say that enough, right? Draw the inner elbows toward each other, but externally rotate the upper arms, broaden through the collarbones, tone your belly, and then come to plank pose. And when you do, that block should be roughly in front of your sternum, in front of your chest bone. Drop your knees. Draw the belly in, do a little crunch with your belly, bend the elbows and tap down to your block, push back up. Lift your knees, down dog, down dog. Good, plank, knees, little baby crunch, elbows stay in, press back up, down dog. Good. We're going to do 3 more here. I want you to go slow. Now, the big thing, staying down dog for a second, the big thing is that a lot of people will let their elbows splay out to the side. I want you to kind of keep them heading back toward the other end of your mat. So plank, knees down, baby crunch with your belly, take it down, push it back up, Plank pose, down dog, hang in there. Let's do them a little quicker. Plank, knees, chaturanga, push up, off your knees, down dog. We got one left, everybody. Plank, knees, crunch, chaturanga, plank, down dog. Take your feet wide on your mat. Walk your hands all the way back. Bend your knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Good. I want you to curl your wrists. Curl them, curl them, curl them. Squeeze right at your wrist to hand joint. Just squeeze it in. Squeeze the other side. Good. Curl the palms, the fists down. Good. Shake them out. Can be a lot for the hands and the wrists, and I know that. So we want to be really mindful to give those babies a little shake out. How did that feel to you, right? That little bit of work. Little bit of work. So forward fold. Come on back to down dog. Lower down to your knees. Take the hands where they were before. You're right at that chest bone, right? Block to chest bone. When you come down, there's that little tuck of the belly, right? That little crunch of the belly. Bend your elbows and tap, and then lift up. If you can go further without collapsing, lower the block to the lower level and do the same thing. Crunch first. I want that core engaged. Bend the elbows and push up. Good. That's 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. Whew. And just sit back in child's pose. Once you're in child's pose, I want you to take the hands either behind you or under your forehead, just so that the shoulders can relax from that work. Big deep breath. Let it out, everybody. Good. And come on up. Move that block out of the way. That's a good sign, right? I want you to take your yoga blanket or your big towel, if you're using a bath towel, and roll it into a tight roll, like a really tight roll. Mine is the width of my mat, and it's about as tight as I can make it. And then lay on that block, on that blanket at your top thighs. For your upper body, you can either be on elbows, which I like, but if your lower back's chatty, just drop your forehead to your hands so that you're not up on your elbows, or you can even draw your elbows further out. So from here, you're on the muscles of your thighs, and I want you to rock side to side. Depending on how tight your quads are, your thighs are, this will either feel good or you'll go, wow. It's kind of like using a roller. Ellie, I showed Ellie this, or I showed the class this once before. Kind of like using a roller, but a lot kinder. But try to roll to that outer side of your quads. And as you go, maybe you scoot further forward so that the blanket roll is lower. And depending on where your muscles are storing the most tightness, it's where you're going to feel it. So I'm going to work my way slowly all the way down toward my knees, especially at the sides. Yeah, right. Just breathe. Maybe you scoot one more. Ooh, yeah. And then come on back so that you're about halfway. You're about halfway thighs. If you've been laying down on your hands, come up to your elbows and then squeeze your belly away from the floor and bend one knee and straighten. Bend the other knee and straighten. You should feel this in the quads, in the thighs. If you don't, scoot forward a little bit more and try a little different area of your muscle. Good, breathe. So this is the least expensive deep tissue massage that you can get for your thighs, right? Oh, good. Couple more. Maybe you change position, checking it out. Just squeeze it up. We're not only breaking down some of that tight tissue in the thighs, we're also working with those hammies. All right. And then scoot yourself all the way down until that same blanket roll is across your hips or just above your pubic bone. And then lay all the way down on the floor. Your head is supported by your hands. I'm going to try to not lose volume here with face down. I want you to press your hips, your pubic bone into that blanket, like pretty darn hard. Feel your tailbone descend down the far side of that blanket and lift one leg. Just keep lifting it. Leg is straight, toes are pointed. Feel your back body working, right? And lower down. Good, go to the other side, lift, keep that hip pressing into the blanket. Breathe, everybody, and down. Good, go back to the other side. And lower, go back to the other side. And lower, good. Come up onto your elbows. For my low back folks, I want you to be super mindful here. Really tone in through the belly, and maybe you just stay here. Okay, everybody else, your hands can be softly interlaced or they can be straight. It doesn't matter. I want you to lift one leg. This is deeper. You can go back down to forehead to hands. Just feel that, right? Keep squeezing in through the belly. Keep pressing down into the blanket and lower down. Good. Other side. Breathe. And lower. Good. And then slide even further so that you bring that blanket to your belly button and then drop down. And just breathe. That's it. Right. And even feel your belly button, right? I mean, feel your belly and the tension and the tightness that might be that your blanket or your pillow is giving you information about. And then come up on the elbows and feel this supported Sphinx pose. So the blanket or the towel is now supporting the low ribs, the upper belly, so that you feel way more supported in this more moderate back bend. Maybe you lift off your elbows. Check it out, right? It's all we can do is check these things out. And as you lower down, just come on off that blanket all the way. Set the blanket aside, or ideally, you know what, you may want it just under your hip bones in general. We're going to be on our bellies for a while. So maybe you take your blanket and just put it where your hip bones are going to land. Yeah. Give yourself a little love here, a little cushion. And then come on down. I may have to adjust my head for volume's sake. So if I'm lifting my head and I'm not telling you to, then don't lift your head. You're going to start with your left hand on top of your right hand and your forehead resting on top of your left hand. Your elbows are out to your sides. Your pubic bone is gently pressing down to the blanket. Your tailbone is nice and long. If you need to adjust the blanket in any way, go ahead and do that. Good. So start here just by lifting. Leave your hands and your head exactly where it is. And just lift your left elbow off the floor and back down. Lift it off the floor. You're just trying to point it up toward the ceiling, but you're not doing anything else. Your wrist will bend, right? Good. One more here. Lift it up and lower. And then switch hands. Your right hand is on top of your left. Your forehead resting on your fingers. Same thing, a little length to your tailbone. Lift your right elbow and down. Try to relax everything else. Lift your elbow. And last one, lift it up and down. And just pause for a second. Switch hands. Your left hand is back on top. Pause here. I want you to keep your left fingers attached to your forehead and lift your hand, elbow, forehead up and down. Same side. 4 more. Inhale up and down. Good. Inhale it up and down. It's not about how high you lift, just checking it out. Lift and down. We got one more. And lift and down. Good. Switch hands, but then pause for a moment. Now you might feel the opposite side back getting a little tight and then relaxing with the lift. That is normal. Just check it out. If it hurts, then don't lift as high. All right, so your right hand is on top. Your forehead is to your right hand, your right fingertips, and lift and down. As you lift, you're pressing down with the opposite arm. Down. 3 more. Lift up and down. Good. And lift. Down. Last one. Lift up and down. And then pause. Maybe turn your head to one side. Maybe your head is neutral. Shake out your hips a little bit. Maybe bend one knee and then the other, right? Stretching it out. How's those quads feeling? And then stack the hands one on top of the other, forehead to your hands. Elbows are out to the side, nice and wide. Press through your pubic bone, lengthen your tailbone, maybe tone the belly in a little bit. Both hands lift, both elbows lift, the chest lifts, the head lifts, and down. Good, take them all up. Woo, and down. If your legs lift with it, that's perfectly okay. Lift and down. 2 more. Lift up. Woo, and down. Good, last one. And down. Whoo, that's a toughie. Maybe turn your head again. Maybe turn it to the other side. Shake out your hips. Maybe bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. Hang in there. We'll relieve these backs in a minute, but if you can, I want you to stay. Good. Last one here. You're going to take your left hand top. Your right hand is at the bottom. Your forehead is back down on the hands. I want you to lift up just your left hand, lift your head like we did before, but then see if you can look under your armpit and down. Same side for 4 more. Lift up first, maybe twist to the left. Even if you just twist a little bit, lift first, twist second. I know. And 4. Good. Last one. Lift up, look over to the left, and lower down. Switch hands. Here we go. Right side, left arm presses down. Lift up and turn to the right. and down. Lift up. Look to the right. And up. Look to the right. Two more. Lift up. Look to the right. And last one. Look up. Lift. And down. I know, I know, I know. Good. And then come to Sphinx pose. I want you to tuck your head. Press into your knees and press back into a weird little puppy stretch. Your elbows are on the floor. We're just giving a little bit of relief to the low back. And then come on back down. And breathe, everybody. Take your hands into a wide diamond pattern. So my elbows are wide out to the side. One hand is on top of the other. I'm just kind of checking it out. My forehead is to the floor. Let's take our left hand on top of our right, and your forehead is on the floor. When you're ready, look toward your left elbow and then slide your left hand down by your shoulder as if you were going to do a chaturanga or something like that. Press into your left elbow and stretch over to your right and come back down. So your right arm, you're looking for a stretch here in the front of your chest. As you press into that hand and just stretch over to the right. Good. Back down. Two more. Press in, stretch to your side and down. Good. One more here. Press in, stretch and down. Good. Your right arm goes out. It's in that little diamond pattern. Your left hand comes beside your shoulder. You're gazing to the left and press into your left hand to lift and down. This is the easier version. If you don't feel much of a stretch, don't worry about it. Good. This is 3. If you feel a stretch, you're right on target. And down. Good. One more. Push, stretch, and down. Good. Release the arms. Just rest your head and breathe. Good. We have one more here. You're going to take your arm, your left arm out at a 90-ish degree, kind of 90-ish, 90 degrees. You may or may not want that elbow on a blanket. If you do it the first time and it hurts your elbow for whatever your surface is, then move onto your mat or put a blanket underneath. You're going to take your right hand beside your right shoulder like we've done with that, like we just did. Bend your right knee. Push into your right hand and start to stretch your right leg across the left. Now you're stretching your left side chest. If you can't feel that, maybe your toe touches the floor, maybe not. And then slowly release it and straighten the leg. Same side. If your left arm or shoulder felt funky there, change the trajectory, change the angle. Maybe the arm has to raise up, maybe the arm has to go straight. So be willing to play there. Push and bend your right knee. Look to the right. Push into your right hand. Open up and stretch. And come back and lower. Good. 3 more. Bend your knee. Push. Stretch it out. And lower. Bend your knee. Push and stretch. And lower. One more. Bend the knee and push. And bring it back and lower. And then just let that left arm come down at your side, palm face up. And breathe. All right, let's get to the other side. So you're backed in that cactus. Your right arm is in a cactus pose. Maybe it's straight out, whatever works best for you. Your left hand comes toward your shoulder. Bend your left knee. Push into your left hand to press out and open. And come back. Good. Bend your knee. Push and stretch. And back. Bend your knee, push and lift. Come back. Two more. Bend and push and back. Last one. And breathe. And release. Maybe take that right arm down to your side with your palm face up just to release that shoulder fully. Good. We're getting there, folks. Hang in there with me. I know, especially when we do new stuff, it can be a little tricky or a little confusing. So just do your best. Don't worry about it otherwise. All right. So press into your pubic bone, press down into the belly, bend your left knee. If you can, if your knees allow and your shoulders allow, I want you to take your left hand and reach back and grab your foot and bring that foot in as much as your knees and quads will allow. My left shoulder is away from the floor. My head is otherwise relaxed. Gonna press down into the pubic bone to deepen the quad stretch, maybe lift the knee a little bit. It's all that happening, right? Now, here's the tricky part. So we're stretching these quadriceps, we're strengthening the hamstrings. I'm gonna let go of my foot and try to keep my hand or my leg where it is. You will likely cramp in your hamstring. Try to breathe through that unless it's severe and let the cramp be the cramp. And then we're going to let go. Okay, so wherever your foot is, release your hand, try to hold it. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly let it go. Now, the first time I did this, I cramped up so tight, but I followed the instructor's advice and I just stayed with it. And it has gotten so much better. So it is interesting to me. I was always taught to let cramps like release right away. But if you just stay, if you just try to be really tuned in, it's just a muscle cramp. Hang in for a second and see if it will dissipate. If it won't, don't stay. And by all means, trust your body. All right, so other side, bend your right. Hold, see if you can reach back and hold your foot. If you cannot, by the way, you're already doing the work, right? You're already bringing it in and holding it as much as possible. But bring that foot in, lengthen through your quadricep, lengthen through that right leg, press down through your pubic bone. Find your breath. Maybe lift your right knee slightly off the floor. Release your foot, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. And breathe. Good. We're going to do one more of that on both sides. Your choice is either to stay where you were or to come up on kind of long elbows. That will deepen it. So bend your left. Find your breath, reach back, see if you can find your foot. If you can, great. If you don't worry about it. Roll the shoulder back, press into that leg, lift. See if you can hold it there, point the toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Whew. Good, last one, other side, bend your knee, point your toes, reach back, see if you can find your foot. Just notice. Lengthen your quadricep, press into your pubic bone, let go of that foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Now you know why we did all the blanket stuff initially, so that we could let those quads go a little bit. All right, so turn on to your side and then turn onto your back. You can lay on those blankets. Be mindful. I don't want you to bring knees up to chest just yet. Just let your feet come to the floor. And take the arms out to cactus pose. Draw the shoulders down. The head is nice and lengthened. The neck is nice and lengthened here. Press your arms gently into the floor, like press down as if you could lift your chest. And release that press. Good. One more here. Press back. And release. And then draw your knees to your chest. Roll over to one side and come on up to a seat. Ooh, yeah. I've been playing with this for a few days, so trust me when I say you may feel this after your first day or so, but it does get better. So if that's any consolation. All right, take your left arm out to the side and bring that arm across your chest. Notice if you're scrunching up your shoulder, roll it back and down, and then use your right hand to stretch it. Ooh, yeah. And breathe. 1, you're going to stay here. 2, you're going to slide your right elbow under. Bend the elbows, come to eagle arms. Ideally, your elbows are about in line with your shoulders, but the shoulders draw back and down so that you're not scrunching up. If you need to lower them a little bit, or even lowering them can get into different parts of the shoulders. So you're reaching up, reaching down. Good. One more, reach up and down. Bring it to center. Undo the hands, slide elbow to hand, and raise them up to your head. Just pause, let the hands rest on your head or the forearms rest on your head. And lower them down. Good. Roll it out. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Take the right arm out. Bring it across your body. Hold. Try not to twist with it. Just stay centered. And breathe. And then left elbow wraps under, back to eagle arms. The other side. Find your breath. Maybe lower. And raise them up again. Lower down. And up. Good. Release. Spread those arms out, elbow to opposite hand. Take the arms up. Just let them rest on your hands or on your head. And breathe. And lower down. Good. Shake them out. Take your right hand to the mat. Take the left arm up and then bend the elbow again. Let that arm rest on your head. So what we're doing here, what we're attempting to do is really slacken the upper trapezius muscle on that bent arm side so that we can release the tight muscles that you may have gotten from doing that work. Good. Stretch it out, everybody. And release. Good. Other side. Take it to your side bend and then bend the elbow and just breathe. It is amazing, right? It is amazing how tight they can get. And release. Good. All right, so we're going to do one last thing to stretch out these shoulders. You could use your blanket or your towel for your head. I'm going to take my glasses off so I'm not laying on them. Lay on your right side. I may have to adjust a little for this AirPod. So I'll show you what we're doing and then I'll probably have to keep my head propped up. So come out into a twist. Your knees are bent and your knees are ideally about the level of your hips. Your right arm is out to the right, your left arm is out to the left. And then take the left arm and start to slowly circle it like the arm of a clock or the hand of a clock. And as you circle toward your right arm, you're curling into a little ball. And as you circle it down to the hips, down to the floor, and back, you're opening back up again. This is one of the best shoulder chest releases that I know. We should all do this regularly, even though we don't. So you're just going slow. Find your tight spots. Circle through. The hand stays as close to the floor as possible as it makes its circle. Good. One more here. I want you to find your tight spot. Find where you got tightest here and let the arm rest. For me, it's kind of up and diagonal across this whole chest and arm complex. Your head, neck is comfortable. It should be resting on the floor. Find your breath. Allow this to release. Really allow it to stretch out and release. Notice your jaw, right? No clenching. And then I want you to circle in the opposite directions for maybe 3 more, bringing that hand down across your waist, across the right arm, over your head. Oh, yeah. And breathe. Remember, you're closing the body with when you come forward, and you're opening it when you take the arm out. And then pause one more time in your twist. Good. Bring the knees back to center. Square your hips, bring the knees up, allow them to lower to the left. Your left arm is out. I'm just going to scoot on my mat here. And the same thing here, start to circle that arm, keeping it close to your body or close to the floor, curling over as you bring the arms together and opening the body as they spread apart. That's it. Just go slow, just check it out. Notice which side was tighter. One more big full circle. And then again, stop, pause at your tight spot on this side. Head is comfortable, neck is nice and long. Find your breath. Maybe smile. Maybe invite joy into your body, into your life, into your day. And then maybe 3 times circle the opposite direction. That's it. And last one. Pause in T position. Just stretch into this lovely little seated twist. Right back where we started. And then bring the knees back to center. Bring your whole body back to neutral. Draw both knees to chest finally. Keep your right knee in, stretch your left leg long and let it come all the way to the floor. Hold behind your right knee, shoulders to the floor, your head, your neck soft. Maybe you turn your head side to side. Hopefully that got rid of some of that unnecessary tension. And then straighten your right leg up to the ceiling. Point your toes. Flex your foot, bend your knee. Good. Just one more here. Straighten the leg. Point your toes. Flex your foot. Bend your knee. Bring your left knee into chest. Straighten your right leg nice and long. Hands are behind your left knee. Shoulders are back to the floor. Straighten your left leg. Point, point, point. Flex. Bend your knee. Last one. Straighten it. Point your toes. And flex and bend. And straighten your left leg as well. Shoulders are to the floor. I want you to squeeze everything to the middle. Squeeze the legs, the hips, the glutes, the back body, right? Squeeze everything to the middle space. And then fully, completely let it all go. Let us find Shavasana. So as you come into your Shavasana, let all unnecessary tension go. Feel your body on the mat. Feel the softness of your body on the mat. Find your breath. Invite joy into your body. Invite joy into your day. And invite joy into your life. Breathe. Soften. Let go. Soften even more if you can. Begin to bring your attention back. Just start to wiggle your toes and your fingers and maybe stretch really long, like just stretch it all out. Feeling that breath deepen. Slowly draw your knees to your chest. Rock side to side, curl all the way over to fetal pose or seedling pose. And then ever so slowly, gently press yourself all the way back up to your seated pose.